So this non-primitive data structures is classified into again this non-primitive class is classified into two types, that is linear data structure and non-linear data structure. Okay, this one is classified into two types. I forgot to write. This one is class one only to see here. This is non-primitive data structure is classified into two types, that is linear data structure and structure. Okay, so what is non-primitive data structure? Which cannot be manipulated directly by the machine instructions. Primitive data which can be manipulated directly by the machine instruction. So here linear data structure and non-linear data structure. So linear data structure is a kind of or a kind of data structure that has homogeneous elements, and homogeneous means same type. Okay, so the data structures in which elements are in a sequence and form a linear series. In linear data type, the elements are stored in sequence order and in a linear manner. Okay, so here linear data structures are very easy to implement, since the memory of the computer is also organized in linear way. So linear is nothing but, for example, we are taking array of three elements 0, 1, 2, 3. So we just store the data in linear order. Okay, so memory of computer is also organized in linear fashion. In this way only it will organize in linear order. So that is a homogeneous type. Okay, so here some commonly used linear data structures are arrays, linked list, stack, queues. All these are used in linear data structures. Array also used in linear order, linked list also in linear order, stack linear, queue also linear order. In this way only you have to organize the linear data structures. Next, coming to the non-linear data structure. So a non-linear data structure is a data structure in which data item is concerned to several other data items. So it is concerned to several other data items. So non-linear data structures may exhibit either a hierarchical relationship or a parent-child relationship. It is not in this linear model. It may be in hierarchical relationship or parent-child relationship. So the data elements are not arranged in sequential structure. This is the sequential structure. In non-primitive data, we are not organizing in this manner. In non-primitive data structure, we are organizing in this way. Homogeneous means hierarchical relationship or parent-child relationship. So the different types of nonlinear data structures are trees and graphs. We are representing trees in this format. This is a tree and we are representing the graph in this format. So in linear we only taking array and we are giving the we will give the size of the array, then we store the data in linear way, in this way 0, 1, 2, 3 in linear way we have to store the data, but in non-linear data we are using the tree or graph structures. Okay. So for what is the difference between primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure? So here primitive data structure is generally a basic structure that is used to build into the languages such as integer, real, character, boolean. When coming to the non-linear data structure is built out of primitive data structure linked together in a meaningful way, linked list, binary search tree, AVL tree, graph, all these comes under, sorry, nonlinear data structures, non-primitive. So now what is the difference for non-primitive data structures? Binary search trees, eval trees, graph, all these comes under non-primitive data structure. Linked list, tag, use trees, all these comes under non-linked data structure. So this is about the data structure. Anybody has any doubt? Please write a message. Okay. So some of the operations on non-primitive data structures are traversal. So by non-primitive traversal, we are having in trees and graphs. We are tree traversal techniques and graph traversal techniques. So traversal means visiting each node at least once. We call it as a traversal. Then another operation insertion. We insert the element into the data non-primitive. Then we have to select. All of you know about selection operation. Then searching already existing data. We search the elements. Sorting by some techniques we are using sorting, and also some other techniques we are using merging. Means we merge two trees or two graphs. Okay, then finally we perform delete operations. Okay, next one is array. So all of you know about array. So array is defined as a set of finite number of homogeneous elements, and homogeneous elements are same data items. Okay, so array is defined as a finite set of number of homogeneous elements, mean that is same data items. Okay, so it means an array contains one type of data. So here we have different types of data types, that is int, for float, character, pointer. So if the an array contain one type of data, either integer or float or character, we can give only any one any one data type, either int, either float or character. Okay, so here arrays are classified into three categories, that is one dimensional array, two dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array. Okay, any doubt, please write a message. Okay, so what is an one dimensional array? So an array with only one row or column is called one dimensional array. Okay, uh, that is for example, so yeah, 0. So that is a one dimensional array. So here an array with only one row or column is called as one dimensional array. It is finite collection of n number of elements of same data type. So I am giving here int equal to a of 0. So it is the, it contains only int. So for example, a of 10. Okay, so it will allocate the memory from 0 to 10, 0, 1, and so on 9. So here array index starts from, so I will show the diagram here. Okay, So here it can be referred by here the elements are stored in continuous memory allocation. So the syntax is data type name and variable. So data type, write here data type, that is int is the data type, and the array name, a is my array name, and the size is here 10. Okay, so here data types are different different type of value it can store, either here character float. So and then a the identify the what is the array name, either a or b, you can write anything. Then inside the brackets we are so inside the brackets we are choosing for inside brackets we are giving the size. Okay, so here brackets indicates the it will use the the maximum number of elements that array can hold. Here 10 means 0 to 9 elements it can hold. So all of you know about array. For better understanding, I am giving here, I am drawing array. Ten. Okay, now I will show by see here. This is the array stored in continuous memory allocation. So here array size in this way, in this the array is stored in actually the index value is starts from 0 onwards. So here there is some mistake is there. So write the array value. Okay, so this is the array. These are the values you can store 10, 20, 30. Okay, here the address is there 100 is address, and 100 I will give here because we are taking the data type as int a of 2. So index is 0, 1, 2. Okay, so int a of 2, index starts from 0, 1, 2. So here int contains, here integer has only, in C language, integer contains 2 byte information. Okay, character 1, float 4 bytes. So if you are giving here int of a of 10, so that here array is a continuous memory. So your first address starts with 1000, then the integer contains 2 bytes for each address. So here 1000, then 1002, next is 1004. 4. That is what a continuous memory allocation. Okay. So if the see here, for example, we are taking a float A of, okay. So taking float A of 2. Then for example, the address is 1000. For that A of, sorry, start 1000. Then next address is 1004, and next block address is 1000. Okay, clear? So it has 4 bytes of data. So in this manner, so these are the so next we move to the two-dimensional array. So it will be represented in the in this manner. That is, this is two-dimensional array. So here index is 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay. So this is row, this is column. This in this way we have to represent two-dimensional array. Then we have to represent multi-dimensional array. Here we have another block is there. Then that we call it a multi-dimensional array. We will discuss it about in the last class, next class. Just brief understanding about one-dimensional array. Then we will discuss the two-dimensional array in later class. Okay, does everyone understand or any queries? Please write a message in chat box. So just remember, in a one-dimensional array or two-dimensional array, three-dimensional array, the elements of arrays will be stored in the continuous memory allocation. I already told you if the address is 1000, the data type is int, the next address is 002. That is the continuous memory allocation. So then what is the, so next the number of elements that can be stored in an array is the size of the array or size of the length. So for example, I am giving A of 10. So here 10 is the size of the array. When we are giving A of 10, then the computer allocate memory of 10 locations. That is continuous memory locations. Okay. Okay, 12:40. Okay, today in the class, tomorrow we will discuss about in deeply about arrays, and with some examples also I will explain tomorrow class. Does anybody has any queries? Please write a message in chat box. Okay, today end the session.